At 18, my parents kicked me out during a snowstorm, leaving a voicemail, "You're on your own now. Good luck." 11 years later, with no contact in between, they showed up at my door like nothing had happened. But the real pain wasn't just the abandonment, it was a lifetime of quiet rejections that came before it, the constant feeling of never being enough. Growing up in that small Midwest town felt like living in a pressure cooker. Our house was a modest ranch style on a quiet street, the kind where neighbors waved but never really knew what went on inside. My dad worked long hours in construction, coming home smelling of sawdust and sweat, always barking orders like he was still on the job site. Mom was a homemaker, baking pies for church potlucks and organizing family events that looked perfect on the surface but felt hollow to me. My older sister, Emily, was their pride and joy, valedictorian, prom queen, the girl who could do no wrong. My younger brother, Jake, was the charming rascal, getting away with everything because he was just a boy. And me, Liam. I was the odd one out, the sensitive kid who preferred drawing blueprints over playing football, the one who'd rather read about famous architects like Frank Lloyd Wright than join the family hunting trips. From as early as I can remember, my passions were dismissed. At 10, I sketched a redesign for our backyard, turning it into a mini park with swings and a pond. Dad laughed it off as kid stuff and mowed over the spot where I'd marked it out. At 12, I entered a school art contest with a model of a sustainable house made from recycled materials. Mom forgot to pick me up from the award ceremony because Emily had a dance recital. "Priorities, Liam," she said later, without a hint of apology. By 14, I'd built that treehouse I mentioned, scavenging wood from Dad's job sites and nails from the garage. It was my sanctuary, a place to escape the noise, with windows cut just right to catch the sunset. But Dad tore it down, claiming it was an eyesore. "Real men build useful things," he grumbled, as I watched the pieces get hauled to the dump. High school amplified the disconnect. I excelled in art and design classes, dreaming of studying architecture at a big university. But my parents pushed me toward practical trades, like following Dad into construction. Emily was off to college on a full scholarship, Jake was the star of the soccer team, and I was just there. At 16, winning that state art competition was a high point. My design for an eco-friendly community center got featured in the local paper. I invited my family to the ceremony, but only Jake showed up, and that was because his game got cancelled. Mom later said she had errands, but I saw the photos on Facebook. She'd been at Emily's cheer practice. That night, I cried in my room, wondering why my achievements never measured up. Coming out at 17 was the tipping point. I'd known I was gay since middle school, but hid it, terrified of their reaction. One evening after dinner, I gathered the courage. "Mom, Dad, I need to tell you something. I'm gay." The silence was deafening. Dad's face turned red, Mom's eyes welled up. No screams, just cold dismissal. "This is a phase," Dad said. "We'll fix it." Church pamphlets appeared on my bed about conversion therapy. Whispers in the house about saving my soul. Emily avoided me, Jake made awkward jokes. The fight that led to my eviction was over a pride sticker on my backpack. Dad ripped it off, yelling about embarrassing the family. Mom sided with him, "We can't have this under our roof." They gave me an hour to pack while the snow howled outside. As I left, voicemail buzzing, "You're on your own now. Good luck." The door locked behind me. That first night was hell. Snow piled up, wind cutting through my thin jacket. I walked 2 miles to my friend Tyler's house, feet numb, tears freezing on my face. His parents let me stay a week, but then politely asked me to leave. "We can't get involved in family matters." Shelters were my next stop, crowded, noisy places where I slept with one eye open. When they filled up, it was park benches under newspapers, or the back seat of that $500 van I bought with savings from my part-time job at the hardware store. Showers at truck stops smelled of diesel and despair, meals were cheap ramen heated on a portable stove, or whatever I could scavenge from dumpsters behind restaurants. I applied for jobs endlessly, gas stations rejected me for looking too young, fast food places said I needed a permanent address. Finally, a construction site took me on as a laborer, backbreaking work that reminded me of Dad but paid enough to eat. Pretending to be okay was an art. I'd smile at coworkers, crack jokes, but nights were for breaking down. Why me? Was it the gay thing, or had they always seen me as disposable? I scrolled social media late at night, seeing Emily's college posts, Jake's sports triumphs, family holidays without a trace of me. It felt like I'd been erased. The landlord of our old house confirmed they'd moved to a nicer suburb, upgrading, now that they had one less mouth to feed. That hurt deepest, they'd profited from my absence. Survival mode kicked in. Maria, the coffee shop owner, changed everything. She hired me after I fixed a leaky faucet in her store for free. "Kid, you've got skills," she said. She offered her spare room above the shop, a tiny space with creaky floors but warmth I hadn't felt in months. Maria became a mentor, taught me budgeting on scraps of napkin, encouraged GED classes since I dropped out mid-senior year. I enrolled in community college night courses for architecture, balancing shifts at the shop and online tutorials on AutoCAD and sustainable design. Free libraries provided computers, YouTube was my professor. By 19, I had my GED and a portfolio of digital designs. Interned unpaid at a local firm, sweeping floors to learn. The boss, Mr. Hargrove, noticed my sketches and gave me small tasks. "You've got talent, son." That validation fueled me. Freelancing started at 21, small gigs like redesigning logos or home additions. I saved every penny, lived frugally, no nights out, no luxuries. Met Sam at 22, a graphic designer at a networking event. He was kind, funny, saw past my walls. Our first date was coffee in the park. He listened to my story without pity, just empathy. "You're a survivor," he said. We built a life, adopted a rescue dog named Scout, traveled to architecture hotspots like Chicago's Skyline Tours. Business boomed. At 24, I launched EcoHaven Designs, specializing in green homes. First client, a couple wanting a solar-powered remodel. Word spread. By 26, I had a team, draftsmen, engineers, in a rented office space. Contracts with developers for eco-communities rolled in. Hitting millionaire status at 28 wasn't flashy, no yachts, just smart investments, a modest condo with views of the city I'd conquered, and that scholarship fund for queer youth facing homelessness. The day my bank app showed 7 figures, I called Maria, crying. "You did this," she said. "No, we did. No family contact in those years." I blocked them, focused on therapy with Alex. He helped unpack the trauma, abandonment issues, trust barriers. I built a found family, Maria as surrogate mom, Tyler, reconnected, as brother, Sam as partner. We hosted holidays, Friendsgiving with laughter and acceptance. The podcast interview was a whim. Overcoming adversity in design, sharing my journey from homeless teen to CEO. It exploded, viral shares, TEDx invites, messages from kids saying, "You gave me hope." Then, the email from Mom, "We've been following your success. Maybe it's time to talk." Cold, no remorse. Sister's text, "Miss you, bro. Let's catch up." I froze. Alex advised space, I waited, then asked Emily, "What changed?" Her reply, "Podcast, opened eyes." She was 20 then, claimed fear kept her silent. Searched me online but froze. I called bullshit. If she'd cared, she'd have acted. Truth emerged, Dad's business failed in the recession, Mom's health declined, diabetes complications, Jake's college debts mounted. They needed help. Not family, finance. Dad's email with photos, baby me, family trips to the lake where I'd sketch boats. "We miss our son. Forgive and forget. In therapy, Alex said, you control this. But curiosity burned, why? Met Emily first, park bench, Sam nearby in car for support. She arrived with coffee, looking harried, mom life evident. Awkward hug. Chatted, her teaching job, husband Mark, nephews I didn't know. Then tears, sorry, Liam. Should've fought. Blamed parents' ignorance on my sexuality. I pressed, why abandon? You were strong, independent. Thought you'd thrive without us. Lies, they'd told everyone I ran away, troubled teen. She'd bought it until now. Numb, I left without promises. Home, Sam held me through anger. Parents called via Emily's phone. Answered, Mom sobbed, proud of you. Dad mumbled regrets. I demanded why. Mom, finances tight, thought system would help a gay kid better. Thoughtless cruelty. Hung up, blocked, raged. Dad's next email, debts listed, Jake's tuition, loan. Entitlement pure. Forwarded to Alex, classic manipulation. Emailed Emily, try with you, no parents, no cash. She, disappointed, family supports family, selfish label. Guilt surged, but I held firm. Therapy extra, mountains trip for clarity, hiked trails, sketched landscapes, breathed free. Days later, Emily called, apologetic, accepted terms. Weekly calls, light, nephew's stories, my designs. Tentative trust built. Escalation hit. Parents at my office, receptionist buzzed, I refused. Note, drove all night. Talk. Harassment. Police report filed. Brother Jake texted, podcast hit hard. Miss you. 15 then, claimed confusion. Now married to Kara, baby coming, parents pressuring him. Met at diner, Kara pregnant, sincere. Heard their side, I left. Podcast revealed truth, confronted parents. Horrified, reached out. Talked deep, their control over Jake, co-signed loans, emotional blackmail. Parents showed at his job, demanding my info. He refused, then break-in, albums gone, docs, note, family secret stay family. Police skeptical, grandparents. But evidence mounted. Restraining orders pursued. Court tense, parents denied, victims pose. Judge questioned abandonment, dad stumbled, difficult choices. Orders granted, 3 years no contact. But violations, burner texts, condo photos, Sam's car. Kara's appointment pic, isn't done. Terror. Hold up in condo, secure. Changed everything, locks, cameras. Spotted their car outside one night, watching. Documented, legal limits frustrated. Snapped. Emailed, meet park, noon, alone. End it. They came, aged, defeated. No reconciliation, evidence shown, expose if continue. Mom begged, dad angry. Laughed, gratitude for abandonment. Walked, dead to me. Silence ensued. Months, they moved states. Siblings closer, dinners, holidays. Kara's baby, my niece Ava, Uncle Liam joy. Letter via lawyer, apology, therapy, boundaries respect. Kept it, pondered. Figured it out, my way. Family, choice. Chosen well. Scars. Therapy ongoing, trust waivers, but forward. Defined by builds, not breaks.